When investigators realized 42 people had vanished from the town overnight, they immediately sealed the entire area. No one was allowed in. No one was allowed out. State police arrived first, then federal agents. Within 2 days, the small town had turned into a full investigation zone. But the deeper they looked, the less sense everything made. Every missing person had disappeared in the middle of something. One man had been shaving. The razor was still in the sink. A woman had been writing a grocery list. The pen was still resting on the paper. In one house, a bathtub was still half full of water, slowly dripping over the edge onto the floor. But the person who had been bathing was gone. There were no signs of struggle. No broken doors. No broken windows. Nothing stolen. It looked as if the people had simply stepped out of reality. Investigators began interviewing the few residents who had been outside town the night it happened. Most said the same thing. They had noticed strange lights in the sky in the days before the disappearance. Floating lights, silent, moving slowly above the forest that surrounded the town. Some people believed they were aircraft. Others thought they might be satellites or drones. But one witness described something different. He said the lights didn't move like machines. They moved, almost like they were searching. At first, investigators dismissed these reports as coincidence, but then they discovered something else. Security cameras. The town had only a few cameras, mostly outside a gas station, a grocery store, and near the main road entering town. When officers checked the recordings from the night of the disappearance, they found something disturbing. At 3:16 a.m., everything looked normal. Streetlights glowing softly, wind moving through the trees, a quiet, empty road. But at 3:17 a.m., the footage suddenly glitched. The video froze. The image distorted. Then, for exactly 3 seconds, the screen went completely black. When the picture returned, the town looked exactly the same. Except something was missing. No movement anywhere, not a single person. And when technicians examined the footage more closely, they realized something even stranger. The clocks visible in the video, inside shop windows and buildings, had all stopped at that exact moment. The same time investigators had seen inside the homes. It was as if time itself had paused. But why? That question led investigators to search the surrounding forest. The woods around the town were massive. Thick trees, rocky terrain, miles of land where someone could easily disappear. Search teams spent days moving deeper and deeper into the forest. Helicopters scanned from above. Dogs tracked scent trails from the houses. But every trail stopped suddenly, at the same place, right at the edge of the forest, as if the missing residents had all walked there, and then vanished. But on the 4th day of the search, something unusual was discovered. A ranger noticed markings on the ground near an old water tower. At first, it looked like graffiti, but when investigators studied it carefully, they realized it was a symbol, an hourglass shape, but not a normal hourglass. The top and bottom triangles were twisted, almost overlapping in an impossible way. No one recognized it. Not historians, not local residents, not even the federal agents studying the case. But the symbol wasn't random. It had been painted directly onto the side of the water tower, overlooking the entire town, as if whoever left it wanted everyone to see it. That same night, something happened that would terrify the investigators. At exactly 3:17 a.m., every digital clock inside the police command center suddenly reset. For 1 second, all the screens went black. Then the numbers appeared again.
Not 3:18分, not 3:19分,
just 3:17分, over and over again. The technicians thought it was a power glitch, but when they checked the building's electrical system, nothing was wrong. Then someone noticed something outside. Lights, in the distance, floating above the forest. Small glowing lights, moving slowly between the trees. The same lights witnesses had described before the disappearance. A group of investigators drove toward the forest immediately. They expected to find aircraft, maybe drones, maybe some kind of experimental equipment. But when they reached the location, there was nothing there. No machines, no people, just darkness and silence. But one investigator noticed something on the ground. Footprints, dozens of them, 42 to be exact, all leading deeper into the forest. But there was a problem. None of the footprints came back out. The team followed them for nearly half a mile. Then suddenly, the prints stopped. Not faded, not turned, just stopped. as if 42 people had taken their final step at the exact same moment and then disappeared. The investigators stood there in complete silence, trying to understand what they were seeing. One officer quietly said something that no one could explain. He said the air felt strange. He described it like standing next to electricity, a low humming sensation in the air, almost like something invisible was vibrating around them. That's when they heard it, a sound coming from deeper in the forest. Very faint, very distant. It sounded almost like voices. Dozens of voices, talking quietly. But when the team moved closer, the sound disappeared, as if whatever had made it knew they were coming. The search teams returned to town that morning with more questions than answers. 42 missing residents. A mysterious symbol. Strange lights in the sky. And a forest where footprints simply stopped. But the most disturbing discovery was still yet to come, because 3 weeks later, one of the missing residents came back, alive, walking alone into town at exactly 3:17 a.m. And what she said next would make investigators question everything they thought they knew about reality.